Voxy is an excellent tool for blended learning because we can coordinate with your curriculum and offer your learners exactly what they need to practice English outside of class while also bringing it back into the classroom. For example, you can assign learners to do specific activities on Voxy for homework, and you can have them either be the same precise activity for everyone in your class. You can give them access to a sequenced unit of activities where every learner has to do the same homework assignment. Or you can have them doing the adaptive activities on the platform and everyone working at his or her own pace outside of class. So it's a great way to give learners out of class practice with things like listening and reading at their own schedule on their own level. On top of that, though, you can actually integrate the in-class instruction with the out-of-class work. There are a few different ways to do this. One of the ways is to actually assign all learners the same one activity so that they're all familiar with the same text or the same video or the same reading. Then they come back to class and they can talk about it. So you can have them break into small groups and answer even more in-depth questions that you prepare about one specific resource they looked at the night before for homework. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is to have learners using the platform autonomously, completing a certain number of listening activities or reading activities, video-based activities, and then when they're in class, you give them a task to do that requires that they synthesize and communicate information about what they did outside of class. So you can have learners get into pairs and take turns telling each other what they learned about politics or world news or celebrities and entertainment or whatever units they're working on autonomously. You can have them get into groups and talk about what they've done outside of class in class, which is a nice way of connecting the two inside of class and outside of class, and also making learners engage in higher order cognitive skills, things beyond what they're doing in the moment in the platform, remembering what they read, thinking about how to explain it, summarizing texts. Another thing you can do is actually have them using the Voxy resources in the classroom, but as a group. So what would happen is that you could show a video to the class and break them into two teams and have them compete to see which team can answer the question the fastest. You could have learners read the same article and you could put it up on a smart board. You could have them all working on their mobile devices. They could work at different computer stations. There are a number of different ways you can do this. But instead of having them work one-on-one to answer the questions afterwards, you could have them work with partners. You could have them work in teams to do things like answer vocabulary definition questions. So you can use the same resources that learners would use by themselves outside of class, inside the class to do group work, which is another way of using the platform for blended learning. You can also have learners work with each other to identify ways that they've gotten extra practice with Voxy. So there are many resources available to learners on the platform. There are the units of sequenced content. There are the adaptive lessons. There's the practice section with all of the fresh daily news content that we're adding. There's also a complete grammar guide that goes through all of English grammar points. Each learner has a personalized archive of vocabulary words based on all of the work that he or she has done on the platform. Learners can sit with each other and go through and compare notes on the vocabulary words they have and test each other on words that some have and others don't have. So they can actually use their own Voxy accounts in class to go through and practice comparing notes and reviewing and working with the materials that way.